Hare Krishna everyone, welcome to Srila Prabhupada Book Reading Club, and currently we are reading Sri īšopanīšad, and today we are on mantra 9. Okay, so let's start our session by offering the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadatin Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanch Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitanch He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाशात देशतारिणे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलङ्गायते गिरि यत्कृपातहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय
Jay.
So yes, yesterday's mantra 8 we have seen na ki yes, like we are captivated by the temporary beauties of external energy, and we have forgotten what is a real aim of our life. So we are struggling very hard in Maya, na? Like if I get this job, if I get this much this house, or if I get this car, I will become happy. But this is the illusion, okay? And and like even the Prabhupada say here, we go to we go to the Krishna and we beg to the Krishna, please give me this sense gratification, give me that sense gratification. But like we are not intelligent for begging the material things, because like when beggar goes to the king, he can ask the one village, he can ask the one country, or he can ask jewels, he can ask gold coins. But what he is asking, give me one paisa. It means he is not so intelligent. Okay, so when we are going towards the Krishna, and when we are asking the sense gratification, because this is this is this is the sense gratification, the car, money, everything like related to the body, temporary. Okay, when our body perishes, when we leave this body, then everything also nothing is going to come with us. So why we should ask the temporary things? Okay, and actually when we are asking, we are again falling in the trap of a cycle of a birth and death, because Krishna is very merciful father, na? Whatever you desire, he will note it down, and he will motivate to earn currency, and he will provide that kind of a body. Okay, and Prabhupada again says here, the real liberation means going back to the Godhead. You know, they think that they Mayavadis think that they can merge into the Brahman. They are the God just because they are in a Maya. So they are not in their original position. But how, when they want to become a God, then how God can be in a Maya? How can be Brahman? Like we have studied in the books, Prabhupada's books, that no one is going to merge in a Brahman. Okay, they will stay there as a spiritual spark, and from them out of a Buddhism, because there is no exchange of rasa, there is no love, there is no like. There is no bliss, so they again fall down in a material world. So then what is the use of such kind of liberation, merging into the Brahman? Okay, so real liberation means going back to the Godhead. When we go back to the Godhead, then we again don't fall in a trap of this cycle of a birth and death. Okay, and there is a eternal eternal happiness. So You have to stop begging for a sense gratification. You have to beg for the our aim. What is our aim? To develop the loving devotional service to the Lord Krishna. So we should beg for that. And like what a beautiful prayers are in Shishtastakama. Every day before chanting, you should read the Shishtastakama with the meaning. Okay, like sometimes na devotees only read the Shishtastakama, but they don't know the meaning. Then what is the use of that? Like you should know the meaning, and in that bhava you should chant the holy name. Okay, and because these are the prayers now, and like when we read the Srila Prabhupada books, when we read the prayers offered by the Indra, prayers offered by the Gajendra, prayers offered by the Prahlad, prayers offered by Brahmaji, prayers offered by Kunti Maharani, lot of prayers are there. Okay, when we read that prayers and even the purpose of that, then like we will develop that prayer attitude, and then prayers will automatically come. Okay, then you don't have to manufacture prayers. Okay, they will automatically come, but point is that you should read, you should invest in that. Okay, and we also see na, like there is one suchi mantra na, om apavitram pavitro va sarvastagati rupi smare pundarikaksha bahya abhyankara suchi. Smare pundarikaksha bahya abhyankara suchi means like here na, in last paragraph that word is a suchi is a use na, like Krishna is all purified. Like there is no difference between Krishna and his name. He's absolute na. So like when we take the Krishna is so purifying. So when we take the Krishna's name, then like our internal and external purification happens. So yes, that's the reason we have 24/7. We have to remember Krishna. Like when we are working and when we get a 1 or 2 minute time, in that time we can chant the Hare Krishna mantra, or we can simply chant the Krishna's names. So these are the small tricks. Okay. So when we constantly remember Krishna, the sins cannot touch us. Okay, because we are associated with the like a most purified person. So now we can move towards the mantra 9. Hare Krishna, please raise your hands so everyone will get opportunity to read. Hare Krishna, who want to recite the shloka? Sureshwari Mataji want to recite? Gunavati Mataji want to recite?
May I
Hare
recite?
Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Gunavati Mataji can recite.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namah. Andam tama pravishyanti ye avidyam upasate tato bhuya iveti tamo yo vidyayam rathaha. Translation by His Divine Grace, Isi Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Those who engage in the culture of nescient activities shall enter into the darkest region of ignorance. Worse still are those engaged in the culture of so-called knowledge. Purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. This mantra offers a comparative study of Vidya and Avidya. Vidya or ignorance is undoubtedly dangerous, but Vidya or knowledge is even more dangerous when mistaken or misguided. This mantra of Sri Īšopanīšad is more applicable today than at any time in the past. Modern civilization has advanced considerably in the fields of mass education, but the result is that people are more unhappy than ever before because of the stress placed on material advancement to the exclusion of the most important part of life, the spiritual aspect. As far as Vidya is concerned, the first mantra has explained very clearly that the Supreme Lord is the proprietor of everything and that forgetfulness of this fact is ignorance. The more a man forgets this fact of life, the more he is in the darkness. In view of this, a good civilization directed towards the so-called advancement of education is more dangerous than a civilization in which the masses of people are less educated. Should I continue, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, this one paragraph.
Okay. Of the different classes of men, karmis, jnanis, and yogis, the karmis are those who are engaged in the activities of sense gratification. In the modern civilization, 99.9% of the people are engaged in the activities of sense gratification under the flags of industrialism, economic development, altruism, political activism, and so on. All these activities are more or less based on satisfaction of the senses to the exclusion of the kind of God consciousness described in the first mantra. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. So yes, in this mantra, that Prabhupada is saying this is the comparative study of a Vidya and Avidya. Avidya means ignorance, okay? And Prabhupada says here, ignorance is undoubtedly dangerous, but a Vidya or a knowledge is even more dangerous when mistaken and misguided. So, like this atheists are like very good na, like at least they say that like they don't believe in a god and like they don't misuse the scriptures, but the people who call them as a spiritualist, they call them as the follower of the Vedas, but they like misunderstood the Vedas, and like they like foolishly say nonsense about the Vedas, then these people are more dangerous na. So yes, so like avidya Vidya is dangerous, but Vidya, which is mistaken, is more dangerous. So it is very important now. Important now before going to pre-reach, at least you should read the Prabhupada books. Your philosophy should be clear, because there will be many people. They are always ready to challenge you, and they will put a lot of nonsense question. And like when you are not able to answer them, like they will say that like your philosophy is not right. So it is always better to, before going in a preaching, you should at least read the Prabhupada books, okay? And we can see even the small books, how knowledgeable they are. And it is gradually, if you go through the small books, then you go to the Bhagavad Gita, then you can go to the Srimad Bhagavatam, your knowledge will develop gradually. And yes, like Prabhupada says there, this mantra is more applicable today. Why? Because yes, we have advanced. Like in starting, we have to go by the walk. Then we have to go by like a bicycle. But now, like there are trains, metros, everything is available. Even the aeroplanes are there. But there is also pollution, and there is also an unemployment. Yes, we are advancing, we are so-called we are advancing in a material in this life, in this material world, but actually we are degrading ourselves, because in starting Hare Krishna, Muttamanimam Prabhu or Vinod Prabhu, can you mute yourself, because background noise is coming. So yes, like in starting, when you are going by walking, there are temples, and like you are going through the nature, like a greenery, and like a pure water. Like you can pluck the fruits, and you can drink the like a pure water. Nowadays you cannot like drink the river water because it is a polluted. Okay, and like we can see there is no nature. Even like air is a polluted, water is a polluted, soil is a polluted, like even food we are eating, it is not less than poison. Okay, so even like we say that like we are advanced so much, but actually we are degraded. In starting, okay, they don't have this this like a 10 floor or 20 floor apartment, but they are like staying in a beautiful house. And in like in our houses, we require the air conditioner, we require the heaters in like winters, but that houses like a build up of a mud and the wood, in a summer they like you used to feel the cold there, and in a winters you used to feel hot there. So everything was natural, and today like even we are advanced, we stay in the cities, but like for the vacations we prefer to go on a hill station where we can have the fresh air, fresh water, and we prefer the organic fruits. Okay, we don't want the chemically induced fruits. We prefer everything organic. So like this is not this is not advancement. When we see it practically, this is not advancement. And in the starting, people used to like suffer there are many diseases now, like a plug or like the small pox. Okay, then people used to die in a numbers, but same thing is happening now. Like people are overeating, like there are many lifestyle diseases, like lot of people, more than that people who used to suffer with the diseases, now they are dying with the like a cardiac arrest or high cholesterol levels, or they are dying because of a diabetes, or they are dying because of a BP. The numbers are same, okay, but we said that we are so-called we are advanced, okay. So in starting, people are very happy na, like there is no work-life balance, okay. The husband and wife, they can work in a farm, and they don't have to care for like, okay, I have to earn this much money, I have to earn that much money. They can simply grow some vegetables, simply grow some grains, and they can have it. Or like they can have they have the cows, from that milk is coming. So everything is so good. Like we can even see in a Vrindavana, na? Like in a Vrindavana, there is no na, like okay, let me Krishna don't say, oh, let me build this factory, or let me start one company. They are simply doing the agriculture, and they are simply like rearing the cows, okay. So this is like this is the nature, na? Like this is the natural to us. But we are today we are living too much in an artificial world. And yes, currently we are more unhappy. In starting, there was satisfaction, but today we don't have satisfaction. Even if we have the one house, when we see the others, like others house, then we also have to build like that. So like this, like more the Kali Yuga is advancing, the more degraded we are becoming, okay. So yes, and then Vidya means what is Vidya? What is real education? That is a mantra one. That Krishna is a proprietor, Krishna is a controller, and everything belongs to the Krishna. Okay, Krishna is the owner. And when we forget this, and like when we start using everything like whatever wealth you are having, whatever persons like Krishna has given to you, when we start using it for our sense gratification, then it become ignorance. When we forget that Krishna is a proprietor, Krishna is the owner, Krishna is a controller, and when we start thinking that, the last like yesterday's class, Srimad Bhagavatam class, na, like everyone is trying to imitate Krishna, but it is not possible. Okay, we can become a 10 time more happy when we like engage in Krishna's service than becoming the Krishna. Okay, that's the reason na, Krishna come in a form of a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to understand the mood of a Radharani, to understand the mood of a gopis. So we can become very happy, not to becoming Krishna, but we can be very happy by serving Krishna, by becoming a servant of a Krishna. And yes, and we can see there are the classes of man, karmis, jnanis, and yogis. So the karmis are those who are engaged in a sense gratification. Even like just before a class, we are reading the Bhagavad Gita Papatna. In that also, like Arjuna felt that there is no happiness. There is no happiness like if I kill this man, or then whatever. Like there is no happiness even if I won and the like everyone is get killed. So, like like in starting, Arjuna is thinking about his own happiness. It means he was doing the sense gratification. Whatever like compassion he is showing, but it is a sense gratification. Like and but when we act according to Krishna, okay, Krishna has ordered me, like and this is my duty, and Krishna want me to fight, then I should fight. So this is the Krishna consciousness work. So like when we are working for our own satisfaction, when we are working for our own comfort, then like it is a sense gratification. But when we follow the instruction of Prabhupada, when we follow the instruction of a Shastras, they are directly coming from the Krishna, then we are acting for a Krishna, and this is not a sense gratification. Okay. So now Krishna, Vinod Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Mataji.
In the
Hare
language
Krishna.
of Bhagavad Gita,
Hare
7.15.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
In the language of the Bhagavad Gita 7.15, people who are engaged in gross sense gratification are mudas, asses. The ass is a symbol of stupidity. Those who simply engage in the profitless pursuit of sense gratification are worshipping avidya. According to Shri īšopanişad, and those who play the role of helping this sort of civilization in the name of educational advancement are actually doing more harm than those who are on the platform of gross sense gratification. The advancement of learning by a godless people is as dangerous as a valuable jewel on the hood of a cobra. A cobra decorated with a valuable jewel is more dangerous than one not decorated. In the Hari Bhakti Shodhaya 3.11.12, the advancement of education by a godless people is compared to decorations on a dead body. In India, as in many other countries, some people follow the custom of leading a procession with a decorated dead body for the pleasure of the lamenting relatives. In the same way, modern civilization is a patchwork of activities meant to cover the perpetual miseries of material existence. All such activities are aimed towards sense gratification. But above the senses is the mind, and above the mind is the intelligence, and above the intelligence is the soul. Thus, the aim of real education should be self realization, realization of the spiritual values of the soul. Any education which does not lead to such realization must be considered avidya or nascence. And to culture such nascence means to go down to the darkest region of the ignorance. According to the Bhagavad Gita 2.42 and 7.15, mistaken mundane educators are known as Vedarata and Maya Apratha Jnana. They may also be atheistic demons, the lowest of men. Those who are Vedarata pose themselves as very learned in the Vedic literature. But unfortunately, they are completely diverted from the purpose of the Vedas. In the Bhagavad Gita 15.15, it is said that the purpose of the Vedas is to know the personality of Godhead. But these Vedarata men are not at all interested in the personality of Godhead. On the contrary, they are fascinated by such future results as the attainment of heaven. As stated in the mantra 1, we should know that the personality of Godhead is the proprietor of everything, and that we must be satisfied with our allotted portions of the necessities of life. The purpose of all Vedic literature is to awaken this God consciousness in the forgetful living being. And this same purpose is presented in various ways in the different scriptures of the world for the understanding of the foolish mankind. Thus, the ultimate purpose of all religion is to bring one back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. So yes, here Prabhupada is using very strong words, na? Like
Yes.
those who are engaged in a sense gratification, they are called as a mudas. Mudas means asses, like
Fools.
donkeys. Okay, and ass means just stupidity. So what stupidity we are doing by doing the sense gratification? You know, like on the bank of a river there is a like a nice orange tree, and the reflection is in water. So like what is our stupidity, that like from that reflection, like we have to eat that orange. That is our stupidity. By touching that reflection we cannot eat. To like eat that fruit, we have to go on the tree and then we have to pluck it and then we can eat. From simply by the shadow or simply by on the reflection we cannot eat. So like whatever sense gratification, whatever happiness we are seeking, like we are seeing in this material world, it is a reflection. Okay, like it is a reflection of the spiritual world. Okay, so by reflection we cannot become happy. So like what is the best way to enjoy to get the real enjoyment, to get the real happiness? To go back to the Godhead. Okay, there we can have the real happiness. So yes, and we also seen the analogies of the camel, an analogy of the itching. Now the more you itch, like you may feel happy but you are damaging yourself. And the camel analogy is that okay, if I do this sense gratification I will be happy, but actually like you are chewing the branches which are full of thorns, and like whatever blood is coming out of your tongue now, you are relishing that blood. So you are harming yourself. This is not enjoyment. So whatever sense enjoyment we are seeking in this world, this is not good for us. Okay, what is good for us? Rendering service and going back to the Godhead. And in that word, like that word is a full of a miseries. Okay, Vaikuntha, there are no anxieties. And so there we can get the real happiness. There we can have the all the blissfulness. But here it is a dukhalayam ashashvatam. It is a temporary and it is a full of miseries. And we all have experienced this, okay? We all are observing in a society. The same things happen, okay? So everyone is like taking birth, dying, becoming old, and like everyone is having the diseases. So like actually by seeing, by hearing from the Shastras, we should improve ourselves. Okay, whatever time I have, at least now I should I should take the Krishna consciousness seriously and not to waste our time like simply on the scrolling on the mobile phone, simply or sitting on that Kali Yuga box. Okay, we don't have this much time. Okay, like when we say we don't have time for reading Prabhupada books, you have to keep a diary with you. I also keep the diary, okay? Like you have to keep the diary with you, and in that diary, you have to block. Like, okay, I get up at 4, then 4 to 5 what I had did, then 5 to 6 what I have did, then 6 to 7. For every hour, like you should record, okay, what I have did and in that time. So you will find some blockers now. Okay, this 2 hours I wasted simply by scrolling, or this 1 hour I wasted simply by talking nonsense with the or doing the prajalpa with like one Mataji or one Prabhuji. Like you can find it out. Like then you will find, okay, here I am wasting too much time, or here I am wasting too much time. Like who takes the 1 hour to take a bath? So like I can reduce to the 15 minutes and then I can have 45 minutes. So in this way, like you should have the records. Okay, when we have the records, then you can easily find out the time. Okay, like even the people say they don't have the time for exercise. Okay, but when in this way, when they when they record every hour, then they will find, okay, here I'm wasting too much of time and this time I can invest in reading, chanting, or doing exercise. So like when and Prabhupada also here, the one analogy is used here, the valuable jewel on the hood of a cobras. So there is one called a nagmani, na? Like the cobras who have the nagmani, they are very poisonous than a normal cobra. And this analogy is used for these people, those who are advanced in the material education, and when they start teaching the Vedas, these people are the more dangerous because they don't know the real truth and they are simply spreading the poison. Okay, and there is one more analogy, that the advancement in education by godless people is compared to the decorations of the dead body. So yes, like whatever education we are taking, like it is like decorating the dead bodies. And what is the use of decorating dead bodies? And so like everything start with a real self-realization. Okay, I am the soul, and like what is the aim of my life? Not to do the sense gratification. When we go in schools and colleges, what the people teach us, you have to earn a lot of money, you have to become a CEO, you have to become this, you have to become that, then you will have a lot of money, then you will enjoy. This is what everyone else, like if you have this car, you will become happy. If you have this home, then you can become happy. If you travel worldwide, then you will become happy. So everyone is teaching us the sense gratification. No one giving us the self realization. Okay, you are the soul and you are suffering in this world, and your duty is to get out of this world. And this human form is very rare. There is no guarantee next life you will get human form or not. So utilize this time. No one teaches us this. So whatever knowledge we are taking, that is useless. Okay. And this material knowledge can can give you some money so that you can maintain yourself within this body and you can practice the spirituality. But the spiritual knowledge tell you the what is the aim of life and how you have to live your life, not in a sense gratification, but you have to live your life for the satisfaction of a Krishna. Okay, samsiddhir haritoshanam. And yes, there are mundane educators like Veda Vata Rata and Maya Apahruta Jnana. So this Maya Apahruta again using there are four kind of people who don't surrender to Krishna. So these are the foolish people. Okay, uh, and what is the in Bhagavad Gita 15.15 that Krishna says that the goal of a Vedas, by learning Vedas, one should come to the realization that okay, I should serve the Supreme Lord. But but in the starting we get we get attracted to the mundane things, and we get attracted to the beautiful language of this karma kanda. Okay, So like, okay, everyone is practicing spirituality for their sense gratification. If I chant this, like if I keep this vrata, I will get this benefit. Then what is the use of that? Like everything will be finished with this body, and next life there is no guarantee you will become human, or like you can become a dog, or you can become a cat. So utilize this life not for a sense gratification, but for the satisfaction of a Krishna. Okay. So yes, our purpose of Prabhupada, again repeating the same thing, the purpose of the all Vedic literature is to awaken the God consciousness. And like, yes, we have forget that we are the servant of a Lord. That's why we have to satisfy our satisfy our senses. So like this human life is the chance to change our consciousness from the like material sense gratification, my sense gratification, to the satisfaction of a or satisfaction or a sense gratification of my Krishna. Okay. So in this human form we get this opportunity, and in this human form, like we have the chance to go from this bhuloka to the goloka. Okay. So please don't waste like the time. So last two paragraphs are remaining. We will cover that. Okay. Hare Krishna, Sharmila Mataji, Sarita Mataji, Snigdha Mataji. Anyone wants to read?
Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. But the Vedavada Ratha people, instead of realizing that the purpose of the Vedas is to revive the forgetful soul's lost relationship with the personality of Godhead, take it for granted that such side issues as the attainment of heavenly pleasure for sense gratification, the lust for which causes their material bondage in the first place, are the ultimate end of the Vedas. Such people misguide others by misinterpreting the Vedic literature. Sometimes they even condemn the Puranas, which are authentic Vedic explanations for laymen. The Vedavada Rathas give their own explanations of the Vedas, neglecting the authority of great teachers, acharyas. They also tend to raise some unscrupulous person from among themselves and present him as the leading exponent of Vedic knowledge. Such Vedavada Rathas are especially condemned in this mantra by the very appropriate Sanskrit words Vidyayam Rataha. Vidyayam refers to the study of the Vedas because the Vedas are the origin of all knowledge, Vidya, and Rata means those engaged. Vidyayam Rataha thus means those engaged in the study of the Vedas. The so-called students of the Vedas are condemned herein because they are ignorant of the actual purpose of the Vedas on account of their disobeying the acharyas. Such Vedavada Rathas search out meanings in every word of the Vedas to suit their own purposes. They do not know that the Vedic literature is a collection of extraordinary books that can be understood only through the chain of disciplic succession. One must approach a bona fide spiritual master in order to understand the transcendental message of the Vedas. That is the direction of the Mundaka Upanishad 1.2.12. These Vedavada Ratha people, however, have their own acharyas who are not in the chain of transcendental succession. Thus, they progress into the darkest region of ignorance by misinterpreting the Vedic literature. They fall even further into ignorance than those who have no knowledge of the Vedas at all. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So yes, like, so we should take we should learn the Vedas, like we should take the Vidya from, but like here the question is from whom? Like we should take the Vidya, we should take the knowledge, we should study the spirituality under the under the bona fide spiritual master who come in a bona fide like disciplic succession. Like even there are like Veda says that in a four sampradaya you can take the spiritual education, like and so we are also from the qualified sampradaya, from the bona fide sampradaya, Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya sampradaya. So yes, like like when we go on a social media, there are a lot of people like who post themselves like okay, they are the acharyas, but they are actually not following the acharyas, and even they are following the acharyas, they are not from the bona fide sampradaya. So like, Mayavadi bhashya sunle hoi sarvanash. So like, we don't have to whimsically hear from the anyone. Like when we are going on a social media, like everyone wants to like boast themselves, okay, how grateful they are, how great knowledge they are having. But we should be intelligent enough to listen from the people who are from Sampradaya and who are practicing the right things. Okay. And this ignorant people, like they don't know what is the actual purpose of a Veda. Actual purpose of a Veda is that like we should develop the loving relationship with the Lord. And like one, like Prabhupada says that like when someone is like representing himself as a guru, and but he don't have the guru, then he is a fool, like or like he is a cheating you. Like guru means he should follow his guru, and that he like in this way it goes towards the Krishna. Krishna give the knowledge, Mahavishnu give the knowledge to the Brahmaji, then Brahmaji to the Narada, then Narada give to his disciples. In this disciplic, and like when we are reading the Bhagavad Gita in the starting pages, there is like entire the parampara system has given there. Okay. So like, yes, whatever knowledge we are taking, it should come through the parampara. We also see that analogy, like when fruit directly from the top of a tree directly fall on the ground, then it get destroyed, it taste get hampered. But like when that fruit is simply passed from the one branch to the another branch, and in this way when it comes down through the branches, then the knowledge is perfect. Okay. And the fruit like a taste of the fruit is not hampered. So like when the knowledge is given in a disciplic succession is a right. Okay. And so we don't have to hear from this unculturous mans, and like who are misinterpreting the Vedic literatures. So like even in a Bhagavad Gita chapter like yes, it is not that like in the first time like Krishna has spoken Gita to Arjuna. He also spoken the Gita to like the sun god. But like with the time, this this unscripturous people, like they misinterpreted the Gita. They represent Gita for own sense gratification, and so the real knowledge is lost. Okay. So like today there are more than 1,000 copies of a Gita, but like we shouldn't go towards them, and we shouldn't hear from these people. Okay. Even people they who don't have even the touch the Gita, they are giving the commentaries like when they are giving the interviews on a Gita, then we shouldn't hear from this kind of rascals. Okay. And yes, to understand the Bhagavad Gita, to understand the spiritual science, we must approach the bona fide spiritual master who is from the bona fide sampradaya. Okay. And yes, here also the reference is giving from the Mundaka Upanishad. And until and unless we receive the mantra from the bona fide spiritual master, mantra doesn't work. Okay. So it is very important that we should get the initiation, we should prepare ourselves. And like recent, like in our temple also, like in few time few time there will be initiation batch. So at least you should train yourself, and like you should fill your forms. Okay. And initiation means you have to become sincere. You can become sincere within the 1 month, you can become sincere within the years, or you can become sincere within the thousands of years. It depends on you. Okay. You can become sincere on this life, this birth, and you can become sincere after the hundreds of births. Okay. Yes, Surendranath Prabhuji, there is last paragraph. Can you read? Hare Krishna, Surendranath Narayan Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sarita Mataji. Yes, Prabhuji, you can continue.
Mayavadi.
The Maya, yes, Maya Aprita Jnana.
Thank you, Hare Krishna Mataji. Maya Praharta Jnana class of men are self-made gods. Such men think that they themselves are God, and there is no need for worshipping any other god. They will agree to worship an ordinary man if he happens to be rich, but they will never worship the personality of Godhead. Such men, unable to recognize their own foolishness, never consider how it is that God can be entrapped by Maya, his own illusionary energy. If God were ever entrapped by Maya, Maya would be more powerful than God. Such men say that God is all powerful, but they do not consider that if He and all powerful is no possibility of His being overpowered by Maya. These self-made gods cannot answer all these questions very clearly. They are simply satisfied to have become God themselves. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. So yes, this Maya Aparuhita Jnana, they are self-made God. Okay, and they think that okay, I am the God, and and then why is necessary to worship another God? And this is actually their foolishness, and because they are under the three modes of nature, and even Maya is their energy, then how Maya can be more powerful than God? So even they cannot say na even if they are the gods, they cannot be under the influence of a Maya. We also seen that when Krishna and when the all avatars come descend in this material nature, they don't come under this three modes of nature. That's why they are called as a nirguna, and they don't have this material body like us. They all have the spiritual bodies, and if they are the gods, then how can they under the control of a Maya? Okay, so but they don't have this kind of answers, and they are simply satisfied by considering themselves as a god. Okay, there will be thousands of people, and they are fooling the peoples in the general by calling themselves god, and these people who don't have the real knowledge, they are mad after them. Okay. So we should pre-reach, but not in that way. Okay, and they will come and attack on us otherwise, if we directly pre-reach to them. So Hare Krishna, today we can end here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhye eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. Happy Krishna Conscious Day.
Hare
Please
Krishna
take out
Mataji,
some
thank
time.
you.
Please take out some time for reading Prabhupada books by to read to hear the Hari Katha. Okay, this is our austerity, na. And Manushya Jalma, human life is for the tapasya. So we have to take we have to currently we have to do the tapasya to take out the time for Krishna. Okay, so Hare Krishna, Happy Krishna Conscious Day.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.